Okay, everybody, welcome to another three count with Gino. We're going to talk about what happened at the NXT Battleground pay-per-view. We're also going to be talking about what happened with NXT this week and also Raw. We're going to say goodbye to a beloved character for a lot of people. We're going to be bringing up a storyline which randomly reoccurred after this group had not been together for a few weeks, and well, these three people in the group had not been together for a few weeks on either TV or NXT after it seemed like they disbanded after her leader left, and I think this may lead to a quick title turnaround. Or somebody going heel. I'm not too sure, to be honest, 'cause I don't think WWE themselves know what's actually going on with that. But let's start by going over the results on what happened in NXT Battleground. We're going to start with the ladder match here. The ladder match was Michin, aka Mia Yim, Saruka, Jada Parker, Lash Legend, Fallon Henley, and our new first ever North American Women's Champion, Kalani Jordan. And I gotta say, I was wrong on this. But as you guys know, I picked her as one of the two people that would win the match. I thought she was too green and not ready. I'm wrong. Does it help that maybe her boyfriend or fiance is Carmelo Hayes? I don't know, but Carmelo Hayes was a great North American champion. He was also not a babyface North American champion, whereas Kalani Jordan is a babyface North American champion. I don't know if that's going to really matter, to be honest, but she's white meat is white meat could be babyface. And the funny thing about the whole thing is one of the people in the match, which is Fallon Henley, actually has a win over Kalani Jordan. So that get her title match? I don't know because she wasn't even featured on NXT this week. We'll talk about that later. As a matter of fact, she might be the only person on the entire show that wasn't featured on that match. That was not featured on the show this week. But that being said, great match. And as I said, I spoiled the result. Kalani Jordan is your first ever North American Women's Champion. If she had the belt for long, I don't know. There's a weird match coming up next week. We'll explain later on, and we'll talk about that. But yes, great match. A few really cool spots. Mia Chin, if you guys haven't seen it late, or seen it, ended up with a few nasty bruises on her mouth, on her legs, and stuff like that. Lash Legend ended up getting hurled through three or four ladders by every other competitor in the match as they all picked her up. All other five competitors lifted over her head and threw her through the ladder, which was a rather cool spot. So Ruka hit a few cool soul snatchers in the match. One backwards flipping off the corner onto Jada Parker, and another one, like I said, I called off a ladder onto Fallon Henley. And Saruka actually made her own cool ring gear. If you guys don't see that, you should check that out. It's a really cool design. Um, I think she'll be champion soon enough. But on this night, it was not her. Like I said, it was Kalani Jordan. Congratulations to Kalani Jordan. Well deserved. She has proved the fact that she is worthy of the title. But will she have the title for long? We'll talk about that later and give my little brain wheeling, turning around, see what's going to go on there. Um, Following that, we had the NXT Tag Team Champions. This is a title I did not think would switch hands. Did not make sense for them to switch hands. And very good matches. All four of the guys in the match are very good wrestlers. Luke Gallows, Carl Anderson, Axiom, and Nathan Fraser. Nathan Fraser might be one of the fastest wrestlers I've ever seen in my life. If you guys have not seen this dude, check him out. He is incredible. Really fast, kind of like a real life Flash. Axiom is crazy, very good. He was very good when he was just normally a kid. Now he's Axiom. Um, the Good Brothers always have good matches. People just hate on them because they're AJ Styles buddies, and they think they're just where they are because of who their friend is. Um, I say the Axiom and Nathan Fraser will have the titles for a little bit longer. I don't really know anybody in NXT that can drop the title to outside of Out of the Mud, which is really, really a really stupid name for a tag team, and sort of in a way, kind of a little bit racist if you know the backstory of who Out of the Mud actually is, and unfortunate name for a team, but very good team. There's a few teams in NXT that really haven't featured much in NXT, so I don't know who they can drop the titles to. The NXT and tag team division's kind of fallen off most recently, where you don't really know a lot of the tag teams or who are actually a team in NXT. So I guess I got to build some people up to get to this, or bring a few more main roster tag teams down. maybe there's a chance that we might see New Catch Republic fighting for these tag team titles due to the fact that they were on NXT this week, but I don't know, to be honest, because I don't think anybody really knows what's going on with NXT and what their tag team division is doing. But great match. I don't do rating systems because I don't believe in that stuff. Really good match. One you should probably check out yourself. Following that, we showed people what Obafemi is. Obafemi is a damn savage. The end of the match and the backstage beatdown led to another segment, which was followed up with on a 3-on-3 tag team match on NXT. We'll talk about that later on. But Wesley and Joe Coffey are just so absolutely talented. At this point, I don't think you need to put a belt on Joe Coffey. I think he's just that good. Excuse me, everybody. Long day at work. Joe Coffey doesn't need a title. I think Joe Coffey is an extremely talented wrestler. I'm a big fan of the man. I think it'd be nice to see him with a belt at one point, due to the fact I think he's earned it. But I don't think Joe Coffey's ever going to be champion next year. I don't think they view him that way, which is rather unfortunate. Set of circumstances due to the fact that the man is very, very good and able to carry a title if they were willing to take the opportunity to give him one. Um, but Obafemi wins the match, or he keeps his belt. So my theory of there being a couple title changes last night appears to not happen at this point. Am I disappointed? No, not really, because I think they got to keep these belts on these people for a little bit longer to keep them a little more credible. Following that, we kind of, in my opinion, might have had not so much a shock of the night, but at the same point, maybe a shock of the night. I definitely thought maybe they would have let Shayna win this match solely to give her some credibility going into the tag team title match. They're going to put the titles on Shayna and Zoe, but I still think Shayna and Zoe are going to win the tag team titles this weekend. And WWE clearly, like so many other people ahead of me have said, don't care about their tag team women's division. Truly don't care about anything really that much when it comes to any of those divisions. Um, Very good match. Two very good MMA fighters having a very good fight. Kind of a funny, weird finish with Zoe. And sorry, not Zoe, Shayna and Lola, where Lola sends Shayna's head into the steel steps in an underground match where for some reason they were out of the ring fighting on the outside. At one point, Shayna was beating the hell out of Lola on a table, so I don't know if that's really got to do with underground fighting or MMA or anything like that. But there's ground and pound there. The referee didn't stop that when Shayna was clearly attacking Lola and Lola couldn't defend herself, but that didn't stop the match. And then Lola hit her spinning back fist and gave a few hammer fists to Shayna, and that's how the match ends. And Shayna still did brilliantly because she started trying to wrestle the referee and standing up, and after she realized what happened, she was still sort of out of it and attacked a few of the referees, but not really attacked them. But oh, excuse me, guys. You know how fighters act when they don't know they lost, but they actually have. This is, I think, a star-making performance for Lola, and it explains what happened later on when NXT rolled around on Tuesday, and the picture is going to be happening there. But Lola's getting better each and every match. Well, I'm not going to lie, I'm going to be one of those people when I first saw her, I did not think anything of her. I thought she was another run-of-the-mill girl that WWE signed because certain people knew who she was. And those were niche MMA fans who thought that this girl may be something, but she wasn't much in MMA. And then randomly showed up in WWE. She's translated those actual fighting skills well into the fake fighting in which environment, which is WWE. I think they should rocket strap this girl soon and give her one of the titles. I just don't think she's women's champion material yet. I think she might be North American champion material, and that would make sense going forward with what I think they may do on prediction I made earlier when I thought somebody else was going to be a bodyguard and champion. Following that, we probably had one of the best matches you're going to see in a long, long time against two of the very best, not just women's wrestlers on the planet right now, but just wrestlers in general. Roxanne Perez and Jordan Grace. There's kind of a very disturbing part in this match where Jordan got busted open the hard way, and her earring ended up getting lodged on Roxanne's leg. If you guys haven't seen this, it's kind of a disturbing image to see. And if you want to see Jordan's Instagram after, be my guest. I don't recommend it, but you can see a piece of her ear missing and them sewing it back up. And if you look closely at another picture she posts, you can see her earring embedded in Roxanne's leg through her fishnets. Needless to say, Jordan said she's not going to wrestle with earrings ever again after that, even though she's been doing it ever a long, long time. Call it a freak accident. Call it, I don't know what you want to call it, but didn't take away anything from the match. It was a great match. These are two of the best. Like I said, no women's wrestlers in the world, wrestlers in the world. I'm sick of that. They're the best women's wrestlers in the world. They're the best men's wrestlers in the world. If you're a good wrestler, you're a good wrestler. Sex be damned. Like if you're a good janitor and you're a good male janitor and you're a good female janitor, does that mean you're just a good female janitor or a good male janitor? Or if you're a good personal trainer, you're a man or a woman, does that mean you're just a good man personal trainer and a good woman personal trainer? No, if you're good at your job, you're good at your job. Yes, sex is involved, but be damned. If you're that good, you're good. Sorry. Little rant I'm going on there. Um, this is, I think, if there's one match on the entire pay per view you should go out of your way to check out, this might be the match itself. The card overall is pretty good. Not what I'd say the best NXT card you'd see, which is kind of surprising since it's the very first time they went to the Apex, but a good card. And then we got to the main event, and like I said, I didn't think it was going to be a good match. I thought it'd be an okay match. And like I said, I don't give ratings or stars or nothing like that, so I'm not going to give it anything. I don't do what that bald guy does on YouTube. Yeah, this is just me saying I don't think Trick Williams is ready for main events. He's good. Don't get me wrong. He's going to be better. He's just not that good yet. I don't think he should have been a champion. I still don't think he should be champion. I think he's a very good talker, very believable talker. In ring work to me still is not the best. His finishing move at least, should be changed because if you're trying to do the run, you like somebody like a Brian Danielson does, or even like Kyle O'Reilly or any of those guys that deliver that move. His looks like he misses 97% of the time, whereas Daniel Bryan and them actually look like connect fully. Um, he looks like to be honest with you, for a main event for a title fight, it was like 10 minutes ish. A little bit of a cool backstory with the fact that if you guys have not been seeing social media, Oro Menza's been attacking Ethan Page before this event ever happened. So I think it's going to be a blow off match. Or I think Oro Menza, sorry, is going to absolutely decimated by Ethan Page whenever that happens. Another weird thing. Ethan Page is only. We'll talk about them when we get to NXT. But I think this might have been, to me personally, the low light of the entire card, which is not a good thing to say when it's your heavyweight champion and they're the guy ending the card. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Or, yeah, let me know. If you have any questions, write down questions down there for me as well. Um, if I was to give this a rated number, which I don't, but if I wanted to rate the number on a 10 system, I'd give this probably on boy, the entire card itself, I'd probably give a 6 out of 10. The best match, and like I said, the saving grace might be the women's ladder match and the Roxanne Perez and Jordan Grace match. Those might be the two matches I go out of my way to go back and rewatch. Other than that, nothing really that great to rate home for. That's why it's only a 6 out of 10. Not NXT's best effort on the pay-per-view, which is surprising, like I said, since it's their first time to ever go to the UFC Apex and start business with their new partners at a venue like that. You'd figure they'd put a little more effort into it on both sides, maybe a little bit better presentation, a few more polished matches. Maybe I'm glad they didn't do antics or anything like that because I thought there'd be a lot more than there was. There was the one with Gallus after the match, a little bit wild, a little bit later on when they attacked Wesley 3-on-1 in the back, which led to a match to talk about on NXT. But surprisingly, there wasn't like no random dude showing up and interfering in the match. I take that back, sorry. Like I did call Tatum Paxley getting involved in a women's title match, and she did take a belt, but not the belt you think she'd take. She took Jordan Grace's belt, which brought out as the NXT announcer almost called her Dana Brooke, and then realized, oh no, that's Ashley Elegance. Never mind. Sorry, it's not who I thought it was. And this is no disrespect to Dana Brooke, but I don't ever want to see her on WWE television again. She I know she tries, and I know people, there's fans of hers out there, but to me, she's never been somebody I'd consider good or ever getting better. She's always been at, like I said, I don't do ratings, but to me, she's just never been a person I've been found believable as a wrestler in any way whatsoever. Below average mic skills, excuse me, and well below average in-ring skills for the amount of time and money and effort WWE sunk into her. And that's just my personal opinion on the matter. You can say whatever you want, defend or not agree with me, it doesn't matter. Write your comments down below. It's a free world. I don't argue with people. You're allowed to have your own opinion. But yes, they get involved in a cool little spot, and for some reason, like everyone else says, when wrestlers see other things happen outside of the ring, they get distracted. Jordan Grace went and walloped them both with the TNA belt, rolled back into the ring, got caught with pop rocks, and that's how the match ended. Due to a really cool spot with that match where she goes for the Juggernaut driver, and out of nowhere, Roxanne catches her with a cutter RKO, I guess you could say, leads to the pop rocks, and that's how it ends. And that's pretty much NXT Battleground in a nutshell. It's had its moments, and it also had some inconsistencies, in my opinion. Very good ladder match, very good women's title match, decent tag team match, bad main event, in my opinion, nothing special. Decent underground match, and decent NXT North American title match. That's why I guess the 6 out of 10, in my opinion. I thought it could have been a little bit better because I've seen some great NXT pay-per-views. This, unfortunately, was not one of them. And this is even talking recent history. I've seen some really good NXT pay-per-views. This one just, to me, didn't live up to what the standards and reputations of what NXT could have been. All right, guys. Now, that being said, let's go to Raw and talk a little bit about what happened there. It started off with Damian Priest or sorry, not Damian Priest, Drew McIntyre, who is the #1 contender to the WWE title for a title match coming up this Sunday in his home country of Scotland. Coming to the ring, he cuts a decent promo, and there's a little bit of a hint maybe going on here due to the fact that WWE and TNA are in partnerships, where he drops Damian Priest's name and Damian Priest comes out, and as he says so, Pat McAfee drops the line, say his name and he'll appear. For those of you that don't get it, that's a reference to Joe Henry. Joe Henry is a TNA wrestler. His theme song is Say His Name and He Appears. I believe in Joe Henry. So will we say Joe Henry at this weekend's Clash of the Castle, also being Scottish and Impact and WWE being in cahoots with partnerships? I can be one that wishes this happened because I'm a fan of Joe Hendry. Good act, very, very good act. Like a higher level Damien Sandow style act, I believe. Not the fact that he's a Miz style, but just the effort this dude puts into it, and the fact that he comes up with these brilliant one-liners, these brilliant videos, these brilliant songs. He's a man that just put top dollar over. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, go take a look at the feud these two guys have had, and top dollars now for some godforsaken reason a champion in TNA. Another reject of WWE who did nothing, was never good in WWE. And yeah, they have a nice little in-ring promo off, and the end just of this is the fact if if Finn Balor beats Drew McIntyre at the end of the night for the main event, uh, Judgment Day is allowed at ringside. If Finn Balor loses, Judgment Day is banned from ringside at their match at Clash at the Castle. A little foreshadowing, Judgment Day is banned from the match at Clash of the Castle, but that is not the only thing that happens at Judgment Day. As this is going on, they cut to the back, and Liv Morgan is in the Judgment Day clubhouse. She ends up giving Dominic Mysterio a key to her um, hotel room, and she says instead of him having to call Rhea Ripley Mammy, why doesn't she just end up calling Dom Daddy? Um, I'm in love with the storyline. I'm not gonna lie. I think this is probably one of the best things outside of the Tribal Chief that WWE's done in a long time. Liv is absolutely smashing it. Dominic Mysterio is, for all the heat this man gets, Dominic Mysterio is one of the best things in wrestling, in my opinion. Just instant heat magnets. Movement. This guy even comes out. It's instant booze. Can't speak. Can't cut promos. Can't do a wrestling move. Can't do anything. And if you guys, they go to commercial break, they come back, and the rest of Judgment Day is trying to figure out where Dom is, and Dom drops the card key on the table, and If anything, check out Carlito's reaction. I had to rewind this 3 different times on my own TV. He just smiled at us and he goes, "Now that's cool." I'm not doing it any justice. Just go look it up. And then we cut back again, and Damian Priest is wondering why Dominic wasn't out there. He explains the situation, and he looked for the key card. He can't find it, and they're all playing dumb like they don't know what it is. But check out Finn's reaction and the way Finn plays this off. Judgment Day is not much longer for this world, unfortunate, and there's a few reasons why I think that's going to happen. One, I think Dominic Mysterio is about to get murdered once Mommy comes back. I think that Carlito's going to be the reason why that Damian Priest is no longer going to be in Judgment Day and turning babyface soon. I think there's a little bit of a thing going on here. If you guys know long-term storytelling, remember when Damian Priest was Mr. Money in the Bank and Rhea made a deal with Drew McIntyre and then shook his hand, and Damian did not agree with this nor like it. And then later on that night, Drew McIntyre ended up hucking Damian Priest's briefcase when he was trying to cash in. I think Drew McIntyre might become the new leader of Judgment Day with Rhea by his side. And I think Rhea's going to reclaim her belt, and Liv's going to go babyface, and it's going to be a babyface Liv, a babyface, Damian Priest, and God forbid me saying this, a babyface Ray, Dom. And you know the whole thing about this whole weird thing? Actually, sorry, it's going to be babyface Rhea, because I think Liv is going to be taking Rhea's spot in the Judgment Day, because I think people aren't seeing this, but I've been noticing for a while now. I think that Dom has secretly been in cahoots with Rhea this whole time. Oh, sorry, not Rhea, with Liv this whole time. I think Finn knows. I don't think Finn wants anyone else to know. And I think that JD McDonough is just perfect for the Judgment Day, so nothing's going to happen to him. But WWE really has to let JD McDonough be JD. The dude is brilliant. If you haven't seen his in-ring work, just go check it out. When he used to be Jordan Devlin. That's trying to think of his name for a second. Jordan Devlin. He's the protege of Finn Balor. I want WWE to put the fat tag team straps on those guys. Following that, we had Sami Zayn confronting the Alpha Academy in a rather interesting angle. I still am conflicted on. I don't know if Otis is gonna go heel or help Chad keep the title, win the title this Sunday at what's it called, Clash of the Castle in Scotland, or if Sami Zayn wins and it's Otis who ends up costing Chad Gable. We'll talk about that. Make my predictions later in the week, but very good, very, very good long-term storytelling here as Otis hints that when he lost his Peach, aka Mandy Rose, his Tucker who got fired from WWE when they were Heavy Machinery, and his Money in the Bank briefcase. There's one person who was there to pick him up and help him get him back to who he was, Chad Gable. He thinks he owes Chad Gable or Sami Zayn explained he doesn't think he owes him anything. It's kind of like when Sami was in the bloodline in Roman had Sami brainwashed. He thinks that Chad Gable has Otis and then brainwashed. Yep. Sorry guys, got distracted for a minute, but yes, there's that. And then we killed Ricochet. We had a match between Braun Breaker and Ilya Dragunov, and these guys, just the chemistry between them is unreal. If you guys haven't seen this match, this is the match you need to see this week. That being said, I haven't watched SmackDown or AEW this week yet, but Braun Breaker and Ilya Dragunov are money in the ring together. Braun Breaker is an absolute superstar. I think Ilya Dragunov is one of the best wrestlers in the world. But Braun hits not one, not two, but three spears on Ilya to beat him. And the way this is done and sold is just brilliant because Ilya says he survives in the pain. And this just shows that Ilya is brilliant with the pain. And Braun is a certifiable psychopath, and this just shows it even more. This storyline can go on forever. I wish there's one more man that was still in this match, but Ricochet, wherever you go, my friend, good luck to you. You are an extremely talented man. You're probably going to be this generation's Rey Mysterio, one of the best high flyers I've ever seen in my life. WWE should have done more with you, and the way you got sent off was brilliant. Those of you that don't know, he came out to save Ilya Dragunov. Him and Braun ended up fighting to the back, and Braun Breaker, Rey Mysterio Ricochet into a trailer, which had Jimmy Hart's face on it. I don't know if there's foreshadowing there. It had focused in on Jimmy Hart and Hulk Hogan for some reason. Uh, and Ricochet took arguably the one of the two worst bumps you're going to see somebody take in that match in this probably next 5 6 months, I'd say, in my opinion, because he just legitimately gets long guarded and then lands back first onto concrete. I don't know if he's wearing padding or if he had something to protect him there, or if they just edited him for it to land like that, which I don't think I can because Raw is live. As I think about it myself as I say that. And following that, Braun picks up his lifeless body as he makes some of the weirdest sounds I've ever heard and climbs up a set of stairs. And Pat McAfee's the line of the decade. They're fighting on a Chevy, brother. I don't know why he has to say the Chevy or what that's to do anything, but okay. And yes, he picks up Ricochet in power slam position, like because for some reason there's stairs nearby, and hurls himself and Ricochet off a set of stairs through the Chevy, brother, as Pat McAfee would say, windshield, and you hear smash. And the first pop thing that popped into my head, real glass, cry about it. Quote Jack Perry. And CM Punk somewhere is crying. Um, Following that, we cut to commercial, we come back, and we see a mortified Samantha Irvin watching Ricochet get carted into an ambulance and run. And of course, for some reason, WWE cameraman have to zoom in on her ass. Don't ask me why, but they're zooming on her butt as she's running to the back to get in an ambulance with Ricochet. So I don't know if that's the last time we're going to see Samantha Irvin, but great long-term storytelling. And I wish this was not the end of Ricochet, but if that is the way we're setting Ricochet off, what a hell of a way to go. Former ex-champion, for those of you who don't speed X, whatever you want to call it, former NXT North American champion, former tag team champ, Dusty Cup tag team champion, former Intercontinental champion, former United States champion, the guy who lost us at Gunther on this one of the most historic runs in WWE history next to Roman Reigns. We're the ones, bless you, Roman. Um, yes. And then we had one of the weirdest matches I've seen as Io Sky and Valkyrie, whatever you want to call her. It was a great match, but it was a weird match. These two girls have such instant chemistry. I could watch them fight whenever the hell they want. They're still just very, very good. Lyra is carried as an aura about her. Io is very, very, very good. But I think she's going insane. Leo ends up winning this match with a roll up. And following the match, Dakota Kai and Kairi Sane beat the hell out of Lyra. And Caden Chance and Katana Carter and Caden Chance. Pardon me, trying to say that 3 times fast. Who and where the hell have they been for the last 5,632 days? They just randomly show up on TV and take out Lyra. They chase up the heels, and for some reason in the back, Io Sky loses her mind and says damage control has to change. What does that mean? We all know Julia is coming to WWE. Is she going right to NXT? Because there's rumors she's going to Heatwave. Is she going to the main roster? Is she going to be the newest member of Damage Control? Do they have somebody we don't know about? And for those of you that are wondering where Asuka is, unfortunately, there's rumor that she has torn her knee. She's been spotted with walking crutches. And if you guys saw the pay-per-view in France, she actually did have a knee brace. And I noticed about a month before that something went wrong because she was limping after an attack on Bailey. So fingers crossed. I've been a fan of Asuka Kana for a very, 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 very long time. If you want to see probably one of the best matches you're going to see, man or woman or man versus woman, let's go watch Kana versus Minoru Suzuki. Brilliant, brilliant match by two very, very good wrestlers. Um, I know it's not WWE or AEW related, but yeah, that's a very good match. You guys should go check out. And like I said, the main event, Drew McIntyre beats Finn Balor, but who doesn't beat Finn Balor? Sorry. We had a little bit more teasing that the New Day was gonna break up. Hopefully this means Big E's coming back, but I don't know if Big E's coming back. We had a tag team women's match, and for some reason, Shayna wins this match due to choking out Alba Fire. And my condolences to Alba Fire, whose mom recently died due to being hit by a car. I know what it's like to lose a parent. It's not fun. So my condolences and heart goes to you. Good luck with this pay-per-view this weekend at home in your hometown of your home country of Scotland. And sorry to you and your family for the loss of your mother. Um, that's all I got to say about that. But yes, this is a tag team that has not been on TV for a long time, being Alba Fire and Isla Dawn. You want to consider them to be threats to the tag team champion who just sat at ringside and did nothing, even though they've been attacked for the last 2 weeks by both these teams. And Shayna Baszler and Zoe Starkman clean in the middle of the ring. Makes no sense to me. But that's WWE. Sometimes they do brilliant, sometimes they do things that make zero sense. You guys make heads or tails of that. I couldn't tell you to save my life. But that's that's that. Um, yeah, that's pretty much Raw in a nutshell. There's a tag team title match that nobody cares about because nobody gives a shit about the men's tag team titles on Raw. And it's a good act, but it's starting to get a little bit tiring. The Miz and R-Truth. I don't know. I love R-Truth, but how many more times can people put up with his antics and the acts that he does? It is what it is, I guess. It's the best way to describe it. They end up fighting the AOP, and even though Miz gets decimated for most of the match, they ended up winning. Eh. That was I'm not gonna lie to you guys, that was my bathroom break of the night. Because Raw is very long and you need those breaks some point. That was my break. Like I said, I don't give star ratings. I'll give a rating on Raw. I thoroughly really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the long term storytelling. Oh yes, I also forgot to mention three on three tag match. We had the other three members of the New Day: Dominic Mysterio, JD McDonough, Carlito versus the LWO, and for some godforsaken reason, Braun Strowman. At one point in the match, Liv Morgan randomly shows up because she's clearly stalking Dominic Mysterio at this point, and almost every guy in America and Canada, North America, and the world probably wanted to be Dominic Mysterio at this one point in the match, where Zelina Vega drop kicks Liv Morgan off the ring backwards, falls onto Dominic Mysterio, who's for some reason on the ground, and lands on his dick. There's no other way to put it, in a cowgirl position, and the look on Dominic Mysterio's face was a look of 100% of 100% of men who find Liv Morgan attractive at all. And you can tell there's a lot of older and younger men who are probably thinking in their heads with a wife or girlfriend or both, or either, I should say, that are thinking, you lucky son of a bitch. But just the storytelling in this story alone has been absolutely brilliant. The funniest part about the whole thing is this goes on for about 20 or 30 seconds. It's kind of awkward the way the position is, and I'm gonna be straight up honest. I don't know how Dominic Mysterio did not get. I don't know if he did or didn't, but I don't know how he stayed. If he was erect or if he wasn't erect, I don't know. I couldn't tell you guys, but the look on his face was priceless, and Liv Morgan's was even better. So interesting, interesting, very interesting. We'll leave it at that. Following that, oh, there's Dominic Mysterio right there. He's probably calling me to tell me what he is. Um, following that, it's NXT. Sorry, guys. Dominic Mysterio's mom. Um, yeah. That being said, it's NXT. It's NXT time. Um, NXT starts with Kalani Jordan in the ring celebrating her NXT North American Women's Championship, saying she's going to be a fighting champion. Unfortunately, this is where I think it's not going to be very long of a title reign. Jada Parker comes out, kind of gets into an argument with her. Out comes Michin. These two have a match. Michin wins, and this is where it kind of gets strange to me. The finish seemed kind of clunky, awkward, weird. She does the stomach suplexing to Michin to throw up for her hip drop finishing move. Michin gets sent out of the ring, and Anderson and Gallows just randomly show up. These three have not been seen together for at least a month or two on any form of television, and then all of a sudden they're together, and yes, their distraction helps Michin beat Jada Parker, and halfway through a pin, Michin decides to slap Jada Parker's ass. Make sense of that for me if you want. I don't understand. I think Shawn Michaels has been the best booker of the last 2 years in any wrestling in general. This just, I don't know, it seemed like it didn't connect to me. It is what it was, I guess. And we find out backstage that Ron Michin is the first challenger to Kalani Jordan's title. How to get sympathy for a champion who just recently won a belt and you want to keep her babyface? Screw her out of that belt. That's my personal opinion. I think Michin's deserved a belt for a while. And I think Michin is gonna win next week due to help from Gallows and Anderson once again interfering, and Michin's gonna act like she wanted nothing to do with this, but Michin is gonna be going heel with the new but with the OC, which I think, and I don't think people want it to happen yet, but I think we're gonna have a new heavyweight champion. We're gonna break that later on SmackDown when that goes off the air. And then we had probably one of the coolest re-debuts I've seen in a long time. And I really like Brenly Reese, but she doesn't win at all. She's just a very good character. She gets her job. She's a hype thing, and she's a personal trainer. And this girl, if you guys have not seen her, she is just pure muscle. She's jacked. She fought the re-debuting Wendy Chu, and Wendy Chu is probably one of the coolest new gimmicks I've seen in a long time. This is kind of what I think AEW wanted Sky Blue to be, but Wendy Chu pulled it off a lot better. She ends up winning with the submission chokeout hold here we have here. There wasn't a lot to remember about this NXT, to be honest with you. Gallows beat the New Catch Republic and Wesley. Um, we had interaction between the family and Gallo and the New Catch Republic and Wesley. Joe Coffey had an argument backstage with the camera with the rest of Gallus. Chase U got into a little bit of an argument backstage. I don't know if the NXT. There's gonna be a cookout next week. We're gonna find this is the coolest thing that happened on NXT this week. Next week, we're gonna have a battle royal. And Cody Rhodes dropped in a hint that we may be seeing AM Impact wrestlers in this battle royal. Because he said any we don't know which rosters it's gonna be. But there's a 30-man battle royal and the winner gets an NXT title shot. He doesn't know which roster and who. So that means we have Impact wrestlers on NXT. Can we have European wrestlers on NXT? Because WWE has a good working relationship with British wrestling as well. For you that don't know, um, that kind of intrigues me a little bit. That's not going to be Ethan Page again. He's not winning the battle royal. Sean Spears is not winning the battle royal, even though you saw Alexis King and Dante Chen had a very, very good, very believable, hard hitting kendo stick match on this week's edition of NXT. Go check that out. It's probably one of the best matches you'll see in this week on wrestling. Gimmick wrestling match, I should say. Very, very good. Very, very good gimmick wrestling match. Dante Chen, for somebody who's not been featured on TV for at least 2 years, I don't know why. Dude just is very good. We had the return of I can't remember his name now. The Indian wrestler there, the Wolf. They call him the Wolf. Yes, but he re-debuted. I don't care because I never got into this dude. He had a great series of matches with Dijak. Eddie Thorpe. That's his name, Eddie Thorpe. Yes, he had a great series of matches with Dijak. Other than that, didn't do anything for me, so I really don't care that he re-debuted. The Wendy Chu re-debut, brilliant, well done. Burnley Reese sold it well. Um, yeah. Other than that, NXT was really good angle to go off the air with, as we had when we had Roxy, whatever you want to call her. She calls out the women's roster. First comes out is JC Jane and her partner. And Cody Rhodes just recently given JC Jane his mask. Her mask. his mask when he was dashing Cody Rhodes. She's wearing it over top of her new mask, which is she's wasting due to the fact she has a broken nose. And then out come the two ladies from Metaphor, Lash Legend, and Jakara Jackson. All four of these women are hinting they're going to go after Roxanne. Out of nowhere, Lola Vice comes out. Lola Vice, Roxanne clear the ring. And you can see that Lola Vice is kind of protecting Roxanne, but also at the same time looking at Roxanne's title. I have a weird theory here where at one point she's going to be kind of like Roxanne's savior bodyguard, then turn on Roxanne, and that's going to be a title match in the near future. I really like NXT. Although I'm not gonna lie, I thought that NXT show and the NXT pay-per-view this weekend and this Tuesday were both sort of underwhelming, but both brilliantly done at the same point, if that makes sense. Kind of dropping hints every now and there. But other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed both. If you have any questions, any comments, you know what to do, just leave them below and subscribe if you like what I'm posting so far. All right, peace out, guys.